People say that Biden is senile. Do you believe that?
I believe it.
So senile Biden, right? Yeah. Quote, senile Biden has passed the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
He didn't do it.
The PACT Act.
He's an empty suit.
Okay, so with him and the help of Congress, we can revise the wording. They passed the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the PACT Act, the CHIPS and Science Act. Let me ask you, what's one bill that Trump passed?
What's one bill that Trump passed? Oh my God! What's one bill? His policies. Okay.
You repeat the question like it's obvious, but you don't give me an answer.
No, I know one bill that he passed.
Name it.
Okay. Well, look at what he implemented with security in the border. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Security in the border. Roe versus Wade. Okay. The economy was up under Trump because
Roe v. Wade is a decent answer. That's just from the Supreme Court, but that's a decent answer. So you're pro-life.
I'm pro-choice.
And there's a plot twist for the ages. M. Night Shyamalan would be jealous were he to see this video. That's original M. Night style twist ending. Oh my God, his policies are the bill that he passed. That's not a bill, that's things he stated during a campaign. Well, the things what is it? Roe v. Wade. Oh, okay. That is one that he didn't actually pass, but encouraged and put the steps in place to get passed. So you are against a woman's right to choose? No, actually, I'm for it. Oh, so the one that you can name that he made happen is the one you're against, but you support him. Why? I'm Ben Gleib for Rebel HQ. You can subscribe to my podcast, Last Week on Earth, for deep dives into all of the madness every week, but nothing more mad than this one. And my hair, right? Very poofy today. I don't know what's going on with that. The more I learn about my hair, about this world, and more importantly, the MAGA crowd, the less I understand. Former President Trump has patted himself on the back for his role in overturning Roe v. Wade, has done that repeatedly throughout the campaign, while also stating he wouldn't support a national abortion ban, a super campaign-style backtrack on what his real intention was in overturning Roe v. Wade. Now claims it's just for the states to decide, which is not why he did it. He did it because it was a cynical ploy to try to ban abortion nationwide, or at least put in very, very restrictive abortion laws nationwide, which in many places essentially ban it. So if you're a policy-driven voter who happens to be pro-choice, much like the lady in this clip, wouldn't Trump be the last person you'd put your support behind? You would have to return the hats and the shirts. I do understand that, and you've invested a lot of money in his merch. You don't want to put good votes behind bad merch. I understand that part as well, but this brings to Trump, this brings to mind, it's clearly Trump's on mind, because we're in the last stretch before this election, and it's getting very scary because it's somehow very neck and neck. His remarks just the other day at an all-women's town hall meeting, I'll repeat that again, where he oddly claimed to be the father of IVF in an apparent attempt to appeal to female voters who think he's trying to take away their rights, because he is, and said he was the father of IVF. It gets very much weirder after the clip, but first look at the clip.
And IVF, you had mentioned before
right,
IVF.
Let's get this question, because I believe that's what this is about.
Oh, I want to talk about IVF. I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF, so I want to hear this question.
Okay, one very stupid part of this is that the entire reason access to IVF is even being questioned right now is due to the Supreme Court justices appointed by Trump who overturned Roe v. Wade in the Dobbs decision. So there's that. But if you're not familiar with IVF, you also might be Donald Trump, because in a moment I'm going to show you when he learned about IVF, and it's hilarious, and the way he explains it is hilarious also from this all-women's town hall. But let me just explain why this is even an issue now, because in many states they are defining now a human life at beginning at conception, at the moment of conception. And the problem then with IVF is that it's in vitro fertilization, but it's out of utero fertilization. They take a sperm and an egg, and they fertilize it outside the womb, but they have to do that to increase the odds of success with multiple different embryos, and then they implant them. Some don't get implanted, some fail, some get discarded after they are not needed. And if it's a person from embryo stage, from the moment of conception, you could now claim that these doctors are murdering human beings, which obviously they are not, but you could claim it. So it makes the process and the procedure very sketchy in the law of a lot of these backward states that are trying to take women's rights away and taking rights away from families from couples that want to become families. And so it's very stupid, of course, like most things Trump does. But he not only obviously spurred all this into motion, but he claims he's the father of IVF, but he just learned about IVF very recently.
I got a call from Katie Britt, a young, just a fantastically attractive person from Alabama. She's a senator. And she called me up like emergency, because an Alabama judge had ruled that the IVF clinics were illegal and they have to be closed down. A judge ruled. And she said, Friends of mine came up to me, and they were so angry. I didn't even know they were going, it's fertilization. I didn't know they were even involved in it. Nobody talks about it. They don't talk about it. But now that they can't do it, she said, I was attacked in a certain way. I was attacked. And I said, explain IVF very quickly. And within about 2 minutes, I understood it. I said, no, we're totally in favor of IVF.
Trump just learned, after being president of the United States for 4 years, just learned recently what IVF was. Because Trump can't help but brag about how great his brain is. He has to tell you that I didn't know what IVF was, and in like 2 minutes, I understood. Okay, anybody could understand in 2 minutes, bro. Mr. Person, woman, cameraman, TV. You're very impressed that your brain's able to process very easy to process information, which always belies the bigger fact that you don't know what you're talking about on issues, have no broad knowledge base, and this doesn't bother any of your followers. And also, why'd you have to mention how hot Katie Britt is?
Just a fantastically attractive person from Alabama. She's a senator.
Very attractive woman told me about this, okay? I only took her call because she was a hottie, okay? I mean, this is who you're supporting. You do you. At this point, I don't know. There's no talking to you anymore. You really look at this person speak and think, yes, this is the guy that should lead the world. And I get it. Kamala Harris isn't everybody's cup of tea, but you can't compare her to Donald Trump. No honest person can compare her to Donald Trump. I think you know that. Also, him claiming to be the father of IVF, or the father of anything, is not quite the compliment that he might think it is. If you've seen his kids for any stretch of time, you would realize that also. So this guy is the worst. Please vote against him. We're not convincing Trump supporters at this point, but anybody in the middle, anybody undecided, anybody who didn't plan to vote but would vote for Harris, get them to the polls. Please do what you can. My dog is scratching the rug right now because he's so stressed. Henry, don't scratch. I'm telling people to vote, okay? Good boy. I'm Ben Gleib for Rebel HQ. You can subscribe to my podcast, Last Week on Earth, for a deep dive on everything that happened during the last week on Earth. Good night.